If you were to tell me that yet another hero shooter was releasing in 2025 that looks like it was made for kids with over-the-top colors, over-the-top skins, and wacky, zany, crazy characters, I would have told you that that game was pretty much going to be dead on arrival. Regardless of the quality, it feels like the industry has shifted away from accepting games like this. We have seen an entire graveyard of games before it come and go and die off almost instantly because of the aesthetic and the visuals and just that over-the-top Fortnite-ification puke vomit that is the Magenta-style shooter. But I gotta say, Fragpunk, a 5v5 hero shooter, which we're going to get into the mechanics here in a little bit as to why I think this game is actually killing it. This game has a 24-hour peak of 100,000 players, 113,000 all-time peak 2 days ago, and as of recording this video, just over 84,000 people are literally logging in and playing right now. If you were to tell me 6 months ago that Fragpunk was going to do 6-digit numbers, I would have laughed in your face. I figured this game was going to be, 10, maybe 15, maybe 20,000 concurrent players, and then just kind of trickle off from there. Fragpunk is absolutely fucking killing it, and we have to give kudos to Bad Guitar Studios. These guys have made a game that is clearly resonating with people. But what is the game itself? It's a 5v5 one-life hero shooter, very similar to games like Counter-Strike, Valorant. There's a ton of them. But where this game differs is instead of focusing on a weapon economy like a Counter-Strike or focusing just solely on heroes, which is what a game like Valorant does, this game introduces what they call shard cards. So every round you play, you are able to choose cards, basically modifiers for the round. So you might have a modifier that makes all the enemies have big heads, or a modifier that maybe gets rid of one of the bomb plants so you only have to defend one. Or we've seen modifier shard cards that basically, if you're on attack, you could switch and become a defender for the round, which basically just flips the entire game on its head. This game basically makes every single round in the game unique and different from the last game you played, which is what people are looking for when it comes to replayability. You have your grounded in reality Counter-Strike that you're pretty much never going to lose that player base because they have found their game. FPS fans who want an experience like Counter-Strike but are maybe just bored of playing the same maps, playing the same modes, and running the same routes, this kind of flips that entire concept on its head. And when I played it last year, I said, this is a really good game. It feels good. I had fun playing it. I just wasn't sure how the over-the-top, crazy, like, unicorn vomit UI and color palette was going to resonate with people. I gotta say, I've heard for years that people don't like these kind of games. I have seen the industry actively reject it. If we actually look at the stats, games like Hawked, games like X-Defiant. Yet in the case of Fragpunk, you can see that the game's mechanics and the polish that the game actually has is able to take it across the finish line and make a splash and an impact like they're doing right now. It's very, very impressive to me. That being said, I don't know if it's really my style of game. Again, nothing inherently wrong with it, and when I did play it, I actually did have fun. I would have picked this game over X-Defiant 10 out of 10 times. Hell, I'd probably pick this game over most shooters out right now if it wasn't for the just insane over-the-top freemium feel of the game. And the thing is, for those who don't know, Bad Guitar Studios is a subsidiary of a studio called Thunderfire, as well as NetEase. So again, another game coming from China that is taking over the charts. Much like Marvel Rivals, much like Mecha Break, which is a game that just dropped their Steam Next Fest demo, and it had like 350,000 concurrent players. Delta Force being developed by a subsidiary company of Tencent. Again, China, China, China. Are we starting to catch the patterns? How does Fragpunk pull 100,000 concurrent players and thriving when X-Defiant had over 1 million players at launch and they fucking shut down 6 months later? But with that said, it's yet another Chinese game that has monetization out the fucking ass. When you go to the store page on the game and you scroll down through all the events and all the different currencies, there's tickets for events here. There's like 9 different like currencies spread across like the in-game currency, the premium currency, the tickets that you unlock for doing this event, the currency that you earn from it. Honestly, dude, I'm over it. I'm over this fucking over-the-top freemium model, and it just really put me off of the game. That being said, if you're going in don't spend a dime, don't focus on any of that stuff. It's actually a pretty solid title. We played for a few hours the other night and like we had fun. Different heroes have different gadgets. So I was playing a guy that could drop basically like freeze mines on the ground. So I would just lay them behind us as we were going to plant. And there's a bunch of these different operators to unlock. I call them operators. I think they're called lancers in the game. The heroes that you have to unlock. Now here's what I will say. Since playing the game, a lot of people have realized and discovered that there is a lot of uses of AI art within the game, which is what I'm now seeing as a lot of the reasons for negative reviews on Steam. Just scrolling through, a lot of people are pointing out the fact that AI art is being used in paid items such as banners in the battle pass as well as the store. And I know this has become a really hot topic amongst gamers, and a lot of people have been pushing back against this stuff. And like I'll say, like, I totally agree when it comes to large fucking subsidiary studios of China, Activision doing it in Call of Duty. How the fuck can you guys, billion-dollar studios, not afford to pay artists to make things like banners and like 2D, like what are we doing? So I have to also mention, if you're one of those people who don't want to support games that utilize AI art, this one is most definitely a skip. And I gotta say, even though it is coming from China, I don't think it has the staying power that a game like Marvel Rivals has, simply because it doesn't have the IP attached to it. Like, you can fucking churn out Marvel characters for years on end. I don't think this game is going to get the same love and treatment. And I'm also curious to see that player retention 30 days after launch. Right now, they're doing great, and they're actually growing. The first day we played, I think it had about 60,000 players. Now we're at over 100,000. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. And here's the thing. So basically, if you're a player who doesn't care that it's a Chinese-owned company, that doesn't care that there's AI art in the game, that doesn't care that it's a freemium game with 9 different currencies and battle tickets and whatever else, and if you're somebody who likes 5v5 one life game modes with a twist, it's free, so you can play it and try it, and it really just doesn't cost you anything but your install time. I do find the game mechanics pretty solid, but I think taking everything into account, Fragpunk is kind of like the most okayest out of 10 I think I've ever seen. If you enjoy it, that's great. I can see why. If you don't enjoy it, there's plenty of reasons why you don't. I can also get that as well. From this perspective, I just want a fucking military shooter. You know what I mean? I've been begging for a military shooter. If you guys hadn't seen my last video on the Battlefield 6 leaks, I think that game is going to be exactly what I'm looking for from an aesthetic, visual, and vibe and setting perspective. Make sure you guys check out that video, and before you leave this one, leave a like on it, subscribe for more FPS content. My name is Big Fry, and I'll see you on the next one.